win up a check, I might do it again. Enemies close, have me thinking they're friends. 10 toes down, I'll be free until the end. Crib outside the city, I don't feel safe in my hands. Took so many years, I'm just waiting for the wins. I'm in debt to no one but the one who took my sins. I do it for real, there's no reason to pretend. If I do it once, I do it again.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy SCraftBlendz back again with another barber tutorial, and this is the tutorial that people have been asking about. Many people have seen this cut on my Instagram and saying, hey, when are you gonna be able to do that cut? So we decided to do it today, and I apologize for taking a little time off. I've taken a little break, just trying to recoup and relax and all that good stuff, but we back on the grind. So this is my girl Lex. She's an actress. You could check her out in all kind of different movies and shows like Orange is the New Black. But anyway, so we started out combing the hair with the grain, just trying to really comb it down to get it away from her dreadlocks. And now we're coming down with a #1 guard. And at first I started out with it open, but I decided I want to go a little bit shorter, so we went ahead and did it closed. Now, as you can see in the thumbnail, this is going to be a crazy transformation. Her hair is really light in the front, on her front lineup, and there in the C-cup area. Just on the sides and the front, it's really light. However, she obviously has a lot of long, thick hair. It's just a little lighter. So we do like to enhance it and do a color enhancement with also some hair fibers to make that thing just dark and pop. And she likes it dark and thick. So we're gonna do that, and I'm gonna show you how I do it. Right now I'm just kind of talking about everything that we're going to do, and I'll basically, you know, go over the other side with you. Basically what we're doing here, we're going to do on the same thing. Really easy technique. I went down with the #1 closed, and then I went up with, I created my first guideline with the clipper, and then I slowly opened it up, you know, and just blend it up. And then I went ahead and took my #1 guard and started with it open, going up with the grain, or against the grain rather, basically fading into the #1 close that we did earlier. So now I'm just putting the line up on there just so I can kind of see what I'm doing, give me some good edges so that I can put the color on to make this thing really pop. If you'll see right here, I like to kind of, when I'm doing the C-cup area, right at the end of the vertical bar, I like to keep my trimmer pretty much as straight as possible to set that first guideline. And then I come up from the bottom like I'm doing right now and just curve into that straight line I made just a moment ago. I like it to have a real nice crispy arch to it. So for me to set that first line in kind of more straight, it just gives me a more of an angle on it that I like. And obviously you got to do what you like, but this is just my style. This is what I like. I try not to, I mean, obviously we're doing the ice picks on the side, so I try not to dig too deep into the hairline if they want to keep, you know, the sideburns going into the beard, keep it full, things like that. But being, you know, we're not doing a beard and she likes the ice picks, that's what we're doing. So now that I pretty much had the blend coming together, I just tapped a little bit with my trimmer and made a guideline and blended that out as well. So now, same thing that we did on the other side, a #1 closed. I combed all that hair down, and I'm just going with the grain to just give me a clean canvas. And there's times that I'll go back in if I see a little bit longer hairs towards the dreadlock area. I'll go ahead and comb those down again and just hit that with the #1. But I like to make sure that we have a nice clean area, and you know, so this is how I do it. I'll go down with that #1 all over, and then around the edges a lot of times I'll take like a half guard and just tap right around the edges to shorten up the hair just a little bit so I can get a cleaner lineup. I'm not going to show the back taper today. Most of you have seen me do back tapers before. I wanted to jump more into the enhancement portion of this haircut. That's the main focus of this tutorial today. Many of you know how to do, you know, the blowouts or, you know, tapers. So anyway, so as you can see, I like to go up with the number 1 open, then close it. But then I'll come back down just to lay those hairs down again. So now I come in with my clipper blade all the way closed, and I'll just slowly open it, fading into that number 1 close that we did a moment ago. And if I see any little dark spots, I tap at the dark spots, just trying to blend those together. Usually what I'll do is take a half guard and put on there, which I did right there just to clean up the sideburn area. And then I'll take that half guard and tap around between the open blade and the closed one just to kind of tie that in a little bit better. There again, setting my initial guideline up in the C-cup area, so that way I can just curve right into that to get a nice sharp ice pick. And you know, a lot of times people want to hit the front, but make sure you hit the back of that line as well on that ice pick, just to make it as crispy as possible and you know, get that thing looking sharp. Obviously, whenever I'm doing lineups or even fades, I'm constantly brushing and combing the hair just to make sure I get all those loose hairs that are hanging over, and just hit those. All right, coming into the back area, just hitting that line. Right now I'm using my the Babyliss Skeletons, the FXs, and them things hit. Many people ask me, you know, do you like the gold blade better? Is that why you took the black blade off the silver ones and put the gold blade on there? No, I just broke the teeth on my black blades, which I really liked. And then I just put this other blade on here that I had handy. So, but they hit either way. I love these Babyliss trimmers. They're just monsters. So now that we got the line looking crispy, we'll go ahead and clean up this loose hair. And like I said, I'll do a little simple back taper in the back under the dreads just to clean it up before I get done. I don't record that part, but you guys pretty much know how to do that. So now I'm coming in, just tapping with my trimmer, real small section, balding out, and then just fading those in with my clippers with no guard, just opening and closing as I need just to knock that line out. All right, now that we got a good foundation, I'm spraying hairspray just so that I can go ahead and pull those hairs down. And you'll see why I do this as well, because the hairs are really fine and really light. The hairspray will give me the line that I need to show me where I want to put my color enhancement. So that way I make sure I have good, sharp, clean lines. And I'm just lightly touching on those corners. As you can see, the other corner was a little bit lighter than this corner, but I still didn't want to take it back too far. And being I'm going to use color enhancement and hair fibers to create the look I want, I left it a little lighter there. So as you can see, just from that hairspray, it's giving me a nice ash line, and that ash line is there to help me see my lineup, make sure it's, you know, sharp and straight and all that good stuff. So then once I have that established, I'll come in with the color enhancement and do that. But on her left side, our right side, you can see in her eyebrow area, she usually has some lines there. So trying to clean up her eyebrows really quick just to have, you know, just real pretty eyes, or eyebrows to enhance her eyes and her face. So we're just cleaning those up. And then the reason I'm doing that right now instead of at the end is because I want these eyebrows to look clean, so that way I can see where my lines are going to be at, and take those lines right up into the side of the haircut. So as you can see, I'll do that now. And the reason I'm putting the lines in now is because I want to know where those lines are going to be when I put my color enhancement and hair fibers on there. So as you can see, I just carry that right from the line in the eyebrow straight up. I mean, sometimes I'll even, you know, do it right there on the skin between the eyebrow and between the hair. I'll keep the clipper on there sometime, or the trimmer, and just go straight up, so that way I know exactly where that line needs to go, so it looks like it's carrying in all the way across. So right now, because of the lighting and the hair's a little lighter there, the line at one moment it looked really big, but it's not that big. So now I'm using Onyx Black, Tomb 45 Onyx Black, you know, the spray. So, and I'm using Sean Cut's Hair color card. Go to his website, order that. Go to tomb45.com and you can order this Onyx Black. And there again, I really like the black. Now, I wouldn't just spray black this heavy without putting hair fiber, but because I know that I'm going to put hair fiber down, and quite a bit of it, I like to lay a good base coat or a foundation, so that when I put the hair fiber on, it looks good. And if it starts to flake off, you know, throughout the week, there's a good foundation underneath and it still looks dark and clean. So right here with my lines, anytime I do lines or designs with color enhancement, I'll always, you know, I'll go ahead and put that line on there and hit it. But watch this. When I'm dealing with lines that I can get the color on other lines, I just spray the card and I let the overspray fall on the hair. So notice I'm hitting the card right now and that overspray is hitting it. Even here, hit the card, a little bit of overspray falls on there, and it keeps my lines looking, you know, still lighter than the hair itself. Because once it gets on the skin inside of the lines or designs, it's a little hard to clean up. So now I'm going to go ahead and just throw on some hairspray. I'm using gummy hairspray right now. At the moment, it is my favorite. It has an amazing smell and it holds really well. So right now, I'm going to come in with black hair fiber, and I'm going to make it, I'm putting a generous supply on there. And anyways, whenever I lay down a good amount of hairspray, put the fibers down, and then put hairspray on top of that, a little sandwich effect. If they care for it properly, then they can usually get a week and a half, sometimes even 2 weeks, where it still looks sharp and clean. But most people, they'll put like a do-rag on or something when they go to bed, so that when they're rolling around at night in bed, it doesn't get off on the pillow and you know, they lose their enhancement. So I've had people though that really know how to care for it, that really they say, man, I can get it to last 2 weeks, which is dope. Obviously, you know, when they get in the shower, they got to cover it up and all that stuff. But whenever you come in every week, or, you know, every other week, that's a good amount. You know, I mean, it's dope. A lot of people hate on color enhancement or hair fibers because they're old school. Man, I'm an old school barber too. I've been cutting for a long time. However, I believe in innovation. I want to always step my game up. And the reason she comes to me, you know, is because she likes this. She likes the color enhancement. She likes the hair fiber. It takes her game to a whole nother level. You know what I'm saying? So usually before she has to do any kind of acting or photo shoots or whatever, you know, she'll come in like the day before, and I'll just hook her up really nice, so that way she's looking sharp and clean. There again, putting hairspray down, and then hitting the hair fibers, and then I put hairspray down again. I just didn't record that part, but now I come in and I just remove the excess hair fibers and just, you know, hit them lines again. Make sure everything's looking sharp. I'll get in there, hit those lines, top and bottom. So we're hitting the top lines right now on both of those lines. Now we're hitting the bottom line. And you want to make sure both sides of your lines whether doing lines, parts, or designs, you make sure you hit both sides to make sure they look real sharp and crisp. So now I just come in and kind of scrape off the rest of that hairspray residue and hair fibers that are on the skin. Now I'll come back in with the razor and I'll really clean that up really nice. But so right here I'm using my color pencil, and as you can see, I went ahead and put that in the eyebrow and in the lines as well, because if we're gonna have that, if we really want it to pop, you want to do it on the edge, but also, man, just hit them little lines up, make sure they pop as well. So just getting in there with the magic pencil, and basically what this does, it does give it like an ash line look. But what I love about it is, see, you can push. What I do is push that color pencil. I push it towards the line, and that way it's right up on that line, and it helps you see how sharp you're getting, but it gives it amazing contrast. And then once I push up against that line, then I'll go ahead and kind of pull back and smear that a little bit, and then I'll come in with the razor and knock off most of that, so that way we get a nice good blend of that color pencil. But as you can see, the contrast already between the light and the dark, it just makes that line look crispier. And once we hit it with the razor, sheesh, taking it to a whole nother level. All right, so we're gonna come in with that razor, and what I like to do is, in our shop we have air hoses, and that's how we blow off the hair and stuff. So whenever I'm hitting this with the razor and it's building up some of that white ash from the pencil, I usually blow it off real good, as it gets heavier, and then once I blow it off, I'll come back and hit it again just to make sure we're getting it looking right. So we kind of have an ash line effect now that we're coming back towards her hairline with that razor. We're kind of smearing out that real thick white line and just making it look a little crispy, like it's an ash line. And obviously with the ash line, it would blow right off usually. That's why I kind of like the color pencil, because even throughout the day, it just still looks dope, I think. So now that I've pretty much did the cut, I just come in on both sides and I do detail work. If I see any kind of bulk, I make sure I take that out, and I just come in and just clean it up. But hey guys, there's the finished cut. I hope you like it. If you ain't subscribed, subscribe, and follow me on Instagram. Peace out. God bless.
Nail friends, 10 toes down, I'll be free until the end. Crib outside the city, I don't feel safe in my hands. Took so many years, I'm just waiting for the wins. I'm in debt to no one but the one who took my sins. I do it for real, there's no reason to pretend. If I do it once, I do it again. Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up. I'm just doing me, everything is on me, oh you matter what. Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up. I'm just doing me, everything is on me, oh you matter what. Add it up. Told her if it's all me, everything is on me, gon' back it up. Matter what. Told ya I'ma do me, why you hating on me? It's not adding up. Roll like a Mack truck, country heart, I might cop a farm and go act up. Lot of scars, I was cold-hearted, now I'm backed up. Keep it real, I do this once a month, I don't rap much. I just take the money and go stack up. Buying car, take it tatted up. All that other bull, it don't matter much. You only climb me, I put the ladders up. No fault, I done doubled up on the workload. I think I fell in love with the bankroll. Pray up, get money, then we lay low. Add it up,